Everyone, this is my video number 6 in my series of trying to get things together in my life. Um, Today's been a bit of a rough day, although in some respects I have been able to go to West Philly and back on my bike, which was good because I need the exercise, and I worked out this morning and did a lot of things that I needed to do in my time today on my day off. Another thing that's come up though today was there attention that was given to an article that was printed in the local school newspaper. I kind of alluded to this before about work issue politics, and today an article had been printed. The reality is that over nearly 24 people spoke up against this one person. I was directly linked to a comment on it because I decided to give my 2 cents on that situation. And there was a prior article that pretty much discovered that I was, I was the source of that. There had been some issues that have been brewing for some time. I went to many different resources to get them resolved, and they went ignored. So when you do that, sometimes you have to go to other outlets, and sometimes people are not brave enough to do that. And I chose to be brave enough. Unfortunately, today, even though there was more than 24 people that spoke up, people are angling at me because I was the direct link to both of these articles. And that's hard because I think it's negating the issue at hand. If there wasn't a story, 24 people would have not spoken to this reporter. And so I feel like my voice might be the most powerful one because there's a relationship between the first article and the second one, but I really wasn't highly commented in this one. What I really believe was that people were trying just to fire up, fire me up, get my emotions, get the best of me. And they did work. They succeeded a little bit today. And that's a little sad for me because it's reopening old wounds. It's really hurting me. It's really, frustrating. I could rise to the occasion and respond to the latest one, but I've chosen not to. I decided that I'm letting this go behind because honestly, at this point, the things that were said in this article, the majority of them I wasn't witness or privy to. I only heard it secondhand. So the people who actually spoke and said, I heard this, I heard this, I heard this, were all anonymous sources, but they did speak to it. And so I said, oh, I heard this via secondhand, or I heard, but not ultimately because you are the one that's out there. You're the one that's exposed. Ultimately, you're the one that's going to get picked on. And I think that that's a shame. Because the reality is that when you're brave enough to address a problem, you would hope for change. And that's all I wanted. I wanted change. I wanted acknowledgement of the issues that I had. And I wanted to feel like I was heard. And I, for so long, suppressed those feelings and allowed people to ride me and tell me how to be and try to silence me and make me feel belittled. And I think that had gotten and gone too far. I am not going to rise to it anymore. If you don't like me, then that's too bad. I don't care. But this article being printed got a lot of attention, and I think it got a lot of attention because people noticed the remarks this man made, that he said to other people. So you can't hold me accountable for something that he said. If there was no story, if there were no comments to give, there'd be no article right now. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. Like, I am not the pioneer behind it all. Like, sure, I helped contribute, but I was not the sole person. And I think any article, you can't, if the evidence isn't there, it's not there. So people can think what they want, but ultimately, I wasn't all those other people. And so I'm trying to let go of that. I'm trying not to rise to that. I'm trying to not be allowing that to respond, because I did let it get to me a little bit today, and I think I just needed to stop. I think, someone can sit there and say and be in judge and jury of me all they want, but, at the end of the day, I know what I went through. I know how that felt. I know what it was like to go through the suffering that I went through in that organization, and no one can take that away from me. No one can actually tell me that I didn't feel legitimate in my feelings, because the truth is, I know what my feelings were. And if I was so obtuse or so out of left field, why are there 24 people willing to just talk to a reporter about their experiences with this same person in the same organization? So I think that there is validity across the board. If there wasn't any validity, if I was the lone speaker, there would be no story. There just wouldn't be. And just like the last story, if I was the lone speaker, there would be no story. There is a lot of evidence here that has escalated, and now they have to put attention to it. So if they want to sit there and say, the naysayers can say what they want to say. I don't care. I'm not going to rise to that challenge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to live my life. I helped out in this way as much as I could. And you have to find the justice in it. You have to find the ability to understand what you're doing is right, because it's gone ignored for so long. If you are in a situation, I feel like in any situation in life where you go to all the proper resources that are at your disposal, you bring it to their attention, not just once, not just twice, but numerous times over a period of years. And each time you go, they completely ignore what you're trying to tell them. You have to figure out a way to be heard. And it's not vindictive, and it's not malicious, and it's not, a situation where I got you and you got, you think you got me, but I got you. I mean, there is a little bit of that going on, of course. I mean, if you're human, you definitely feel those emotions when someone has violated you or has hurt you or has done things that, you feel are not fair. But with that said, ultimately what's going on here is an expose of bigger issues. And I am just one voice. That's all I am. And so, bringing it to the forefront and being a whistleblower is I'm just one voice. So you can sit there and remark and say the things that you want to say and hate me. I don't care. Because you know what? I said my piece. I said it. I actually said a lot more in the previous article, but because my name is now out there and exposed, they feel like that they can attack me. And it all could be the same person. It could be different people. I don't know, but pulling the strength from within is very important today. I'm not there anymore. I have to move on. And I'm trying to do that. And the only reason I was even in this article is because I was asked to help out. And, that was my genesis of that. Like my origin was, I'm going to help out because I know that people are suffering or had suffered and left because they were suffering. And, in this organization under this leader. So all I could do is tell them to talk to this person. And I don't need to justify that. I don't feel like I need to explain that. But that's the reality. That's what I did. And I was a facilitator. I helped connect them. Whether you like it or not, whether you feel it's fair or not, I don't know. But you know what? That's the truth. That's the whole truth. I have had my moments there. You don't know basically what's going to go down and what isn't going to go down. And you know what? That's it. I mean, but I want to end this with this. You do these things to hope for change, to hope that at some point someone's going to listen. If they don't listen, there's nothing you can do. But you can't leave the table or allow others to make you leave the table without having your say, you know? And everyone's entitled to their opinions. And I'm just glad that the succession of events that had gone on and had transpired over time are now being exposed for what they are. And hopefully the right people will listen and do the right things. That is all you can do. I am not that person. I am not, going to go around. It is what it is. This is, like I said, like, I can't confirm or deny some of the things that were written, but, I can tell you what my perspective was, how I felt. And, in that respect, that's what I did. And other people spoke up because they wanted to. And because they were afraid of retaliation, they chose to do it anonymously, which I understand. I really do. So, there it is. That's my day today. It's a lot of reflecting, a lot of agonizing, a lot of nervousness, but it is what it is. And, onward and upward, I hope. I'm finding closure with this. It's it's not an easy thing to do, but you have to be brave enough to open that seal. If you don't open it, like, nothing changes, and you have nothing but yourself to blame. Um, and I'm at a point now where there were so many nights and so many days there I felt helpless in that scenario and felt like no one cared. And so it's finally nice to be beyond it and have people finally take notice. So we'll see. But again, that's what happened today. And hopefully tomorrow will be another day of growth and reflection.